Alright, y'all. We back with another video, man. Y'all already know what's going on, alright? Now, check this out, right? Nothing too particular on this video, but, kind of like the usual compilation of some clips that I thought were pretty interesting, but nothing that deserves an entire video just off the one topic, right? First clip I wanted to show was the opening of Cardi B's tour. And just like any other mainstream artist, you get this kind of dark, you know, demonic transhumanism type of vibe where she's opening up the tour with just a bunch of, you know, screenplay, like, basically welcoming people into the tour. It creates the vibe of I don't know if this was the opening night or if she's using this intro as every night on tour. This was probably the opening night. Thought this was pretty interesting, and what they're going to be showing on the screen, it reminds me a lot of the topic we talked about with that band. I forget the name of it because I'd never really heard of that band until we did a video on it, but you'll see it. It was that band that was at the Las Vegas Sphere, and they had a bunch of imagery going on, demons and stuff all on the gates. It was like the gates of hell, basically. Some of the imagery looks really similar as this continues to play. First, before I play True Story reaction, let's just watch it without his reaction real quick.
Award-winning recording artist Cardi B wrote for young child now able to keep the crime spree that has left a trail of devastation in international rap superstars on the run after being linked to a series of brutal killings. And report any sightings immediately. According to police, the victim, Cardi B, who has always been a controversial bloggers, journalists, and most chillingly, several female rappers. If these allegations are true, it will undoubtedly be one of the darkest chapters in music history.
Oh, hell no. You see, it just gets a little creepy. It ends with black crows and stuff. Gets a little creepy. Let's watch the reaction another creator had on the topic.
What is going on here, guys? What? People are saying that means that she's a robot. And I don't believe it, but something's going on with this intro. And it has a lot of people questioning what's going on. No. What is going on here, guys? This is supposed to be Cardi B's intro to her tour. You see that? You know what the black crow means. People are saying that every single concert, right? Every single award show or anything, guys, is always dark. Why is that? I mean, come on, you know why. You know exactly why all these shows are straight dark. Because it's a dark world. It is. Shh! Shut up! But the light shall shine bright above the earth. And when that day comes, ain't nobody gonna be able to run. So get ready, guys. This is all for now. This is all for now. Nothing lasts forever. That's very well, guys. Entertainment purpose.
I mean, he ain't lying. And it definitely looked very dark. That's why I wanted to watch it without commentary. typical mainstream artist type of stuff. Somebody said Death of Consciousness. Looks just like Beyonce's tour. Somebody said Mind Control. That's what I was like, is that was an interesting way to open up a concert. It's always very dark, man. It's always very dark. I don't think Cardi B is a robot, but it definitely represents mind control to a point. Probably some transhumanism stuff. You know, the splitting of her mind, definitely mind control. I mean, they know what they're doing, and you got all these people with their phones out, fully engulfed into the ritual. This is just what it is. You know it's mind control because you get this right here. Let me see if I can play it slowly. This right here, that like, you know, it's hard to explain it. That like glitch effect right here where they're like yelling inside of their own mind type of thing. I don't know. I don't know. Weird stuff though. Let's move on to the next clip.
It goes 700K brainwashed souls, 500K even more brainwashed souls, 33,000 people spreading a false message, and 22,000 thinking that they're doing something. It's over with. It's over with. We know what he's done. Y'all want to see something? That's your boy. That's your boy in a celebratory Moloch outfit. That's your boy. You want to see one more? Look at him smiling. Look at him. He know he's caught. Look. That's your boy. And most of the celebrities said Clooney held like great pizza parties. That's your boy. So if anybody else wants to go ahead and repost, go ahead. Have fun with that. 700,000 brainwashed souls. And I'm pretty sure there'll be more because this was only 7 hours ago to post.
No, what's crazy about it? George Clooney, if I'm not mistaken, he was the reason that Diddy basically filed that lawsuit against Diageo and those billionaires over those spirit companies. And he said it was racism because they were promoting what George Clooney was basically like brand ambassador of with Casamigos and all of that. They were pushing it everywhere, everywhere George Clooney was, or however they were using him to promote the brand. He was like basically a part of the reason that Diddy filed that lawsuit about them being racist anyway, because they started working with him more and you know sending out this stuff that he was promoting as far as the alcohols to every corner of the world basically, and they were limiting Diddy shit to just urban areas, if I'm not mistaken.
I had a dream Kai was a clone, bro.
You had a dream Kai was a clone?
Yeah, I had a dream he was a clone, and then Kai was under like a. We were just talking, but like under, and I was going somewhere, and he was underground, like, and he was locked up, like the old him was locked up, like screaming and shit.
Kai just texted me and said, I'm underwater.
And this, guys, is a perfect example of when I say that us Black Americans, and even us, just everybody in America, we're all so indoctrinated and we don't even know who we are, our abilities, or any of that. See how Deshae is just, oh yeah, guys, it was just a dream. He's just laughing. He's not taking it serious. It was just a little dream. Like, it was just in my head. He doesn't even know that that's quite literally how humans know the future and stuff. And this is how people get like supernatural knowledge by dreams. Like, this isn't just your imagination. Deshae, that literally tells you what's going on with Kai. He literally just told us what's going on with Kai, basically. And like he's sitting there thinking that it's just a joke or something. Bro.
I mean, it's definitely true. A lot of people don't know how powerful their dreams are. A lot of people relate it back to deja vu. And when they feel like they have been somewhere before, heard something before, seen this pattern happen before, a lot of the times it happened in your dreams. And that is one way of realizing you've been somewhere before. Because sometimes people can have deja vu of an area they have personally never been to. I've seen people talk about that. And maybe you've been there in your dream, but you just don't remember that dream. You know what I'm saying? We only remember certain dreams when we wake up. We damn sure most of the time not remembering a dream we had 2 years ago. So that realm is definitely untapped. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. And it looked like Deshae was being serious as far as him saying he had a dream of Casanat being cloned. Because a lot of the times you have dreams, you can have those random dreams, but a lot of the times when you thinking about something a lot subconsciously, or even if it's just on your mind a lot, you'll end up dreaming about it, but it'll be some kind of distorted, weird version of it. It's never like exactly what you were thinking about. But when things are in your subconscious, a lot of the times they turn into dreams. It's like we enter into that other dimension and now you're living out what you were thinking about, but in some kind of weird, distorted way. But a lot of people on here are like, yeah, Kai's gone. They know it's not a dream. He knows it's not a joke. That was Kai's spirit trap. Now that is interesting as well. That is interesting as well. Dreaming of, Kai, but you're seeing that his spirit is trapped. That is on some get out type of shit. Now that is crazy. Somebody said that's his spirit telling him the truth.
Fresh bag of chips. All right, you ready? All right, here we go. There's no such thing as demons and dragons and like fairy tales. They're just fairy tales, right? Like there's no such thing as any of that stuff. Like any of the ghosts, Casper, it's not real. No. How did the exorcist know how to use a very specific demon named Obizuth? Wait. Hold on. How did the exorcist know? Yeah, the movie. How did the exorcist know to use a very specific demon named Pazuzu? Oh my gosh, I think you guys are missing it. How is it that the exorcist knew how to use a very specific demon named La Boo Boo? Oh no! I'm sorry. Wait. So hold on. Is there anywhere in history where maybe we have read that there's a possibility that somebody by the name of King Solomon encountered 36 elements and one of them's name was Obizuth? Pazuzu? La Boo Boo? But hold on, no, it's just a toy. There's no way. They're just making these things up. I don't know. I'm asking you. I didn't make the movie. Did you? I wasn't the director. How did they know? And why, speaking of The Exorcist, why is the steps a tourist attraction in Washington, D.C.? Speaking of Washington, D.C., why is there a pentagram laid out between, look, I'm from Baltimore, you know I'm from Baltimore, but I ain't from D.C., but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Why is it that there's an owl in the shape of Moloch? I don't know who that is. You tell me. I don't even know who Moloch is. Who is that? But Bohemian Grove, no, hold on. But why is it? We're going too far. I gotta go. How does everybody know about these demons?
I'm not gonna lie, his style was pretty dope on this one. It captured me. I started watching it. I was about to scroll past it, and I was like, all right, I see what he's doing. Basically, presenting this as questions. How does everyone know about this stuff if it's not true? Somebody said search the map of Baal and it'll all make sense. Y'all gonna realize God ain't playing. Look up who Moloch is and look and everything going on right now with the files. I knew Labubu was demonic. Just look at it. Y'all gotta realize, man. Somebody said, "Give me some of them chips." Not gonna lie, that brand, I think it's fried with olive oil. That brand is fire. Not even gonna lie. You could probably find it at Target, and that's usually where I see it, or Publix, if you got a Publix. But anyways, never got into Labubu. It was very weird to me. Um, I recently learned that Pazuzu is the king of demons. Y'all, this is what I be saying, man. It's so many people who are not aware of this stuff, man. It's so many people. This is why we continue to make the videos every day. Yeah, I've talked about Pazuzu. I've talked about the Labubu dolls when it was going viral. We talked about it, but it doesn't matter that I talked about it 5 months ago. There's still people today, right now, who don't know this information. They don't really pay attention. They're not on TikTok, not on YouTube every day. They're not paying attention to this stuff. I mean, yeah, people have lives to live, and I understand it. But that's why it's so important. You know what I'm saying? It's so important to continue to go over this stuff because you could read the comments. A lot of people don't know the Epstein files are letting these people know about all this stuff on a massive level, man. It's crazy.
He got these too, and this one is disgusting. How did the Hadid sisters become models and make so much money? I don't understand. You know, the father paid the agency. No, there are too many girls giving good BJs. Agreed. So what did they do in the BUTT? No, seriously. From who? This is the real question, not relevant to your issue. If they can, why couldn't I? Because they follow directions. It's that simple. So the father sold them off to the highest bidder. Haven't we heard about yacht girls before? And isn't their mother also famous for forcing them to not eat to be thin models? Isn't their father an extremely wealthy businessman from the Mideast who's got connections everywhere? And isn't their mother one of the first supermodels who I'm sure is still highly connected in that industry? So you're telling me that these extremely rich people who had all the money in the world sold their children to the highest bidder?
Basically, the Hadid sisters, I think Bella in particular, I did a little bit of research on her. And I've seen them before because y'all know I be looking into a lot of this fashion stuff. Um, they were talked about in the emails, the Epstein files back when they were 19, and Jeffrey Epstein mentioned that they were fresh faces. Now, there's no actual proof of contact or them responding to those emails, but more than likely, we're sure that was the process that happened. And this is probably why they got into this world. Both of them, both of the main sisters, they have another sister that is a half sister. They're both worth like 30 million plus off of fashion deals. And, I think Bella has been in over 30 Vogue magazines. I mean, you know, cashing in off of fashion, being runway models, and so on. This shit is crazy. But all right, y'all. That being said, man, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. Any clip, stuck out to y'all in particular. And yeah, man, we'll be back with another video tomorrow. Y'all keep letting me know what y'all want to see on the channel, and I will do my best at getting to some of those videos. The channel has been doing great lately. I don't see everything all the time, but I do try and, look at a good bit of y'all suggestions. So with that being said, y'all, it's Black Balloon. I'm gonna see y'all soon. All right, I'm out.